Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Blues 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Blues 1975.
This is the most horrific looking depiction of people I've ever seen in my life. This is Turbo Outrun on the ZX Spectrum, released by US Gold in 1990. Maybe 1989, because obviously Outrun, Turbo Outrun, a follow-up to the original Outrun, was released by Sega in the arcades as a superscaler in 1989 as a standalone cabinet or as a conversion kit for the original Outrun. And much like the conversion kit for the original Star Wars, granted that's by Atari, Empire Strikes Back, once you applied it you couldn't reverse it, and it pissed off quite a lot of arcade owners, because the original games were the excuse me, the more profitable of the overall franchise. Now that will make sense when you play Turbo Outrun, because for all its bells and whistles, not on the Spectrum, in the arcade, what it looks dandy and stuff like that, it's an inferior game. There are no branching paths whatsoever. Never understood why they did that. They introduced a turbo. It's not a 3 deal and done turbo like Chase HQ. It overheats and cools down, so you can use it and manage it and use it a couple of times. It does give you a temporary boost. Apparently no one back in the day for these companies knew how turbos actually worked. I thought they worked like this for years when I was a kid, because of games like this. There is a main rival you have to race against, and there are police cars. Now, there is also the option to upgrade your car as well, dependent upon how well you were done in each stage. And once again, your bird is in the car with you, hence the fact that you see her and, well, both, or your disfigured glory there. Now, I had this back in the day. I bought it because I was a sucker for pain, and the magazine said it was a massive improvement over the... I had a math system at this point in mind, but over an overall improvement of the original Outrun frame rate wise. Now, I've played this a few times over the years, hence the fact that this is a revisit, but how much is it? Because there is an elephant room with this game, which is a massive detriment to its playing experience, but we'll get to that. So right, fire. Okay, so I'm going with auto change, because manual you have to juggle gear change. Alright, it's only high and low with turbo, so I've just got up is accelerate. I'm playing this on a joystick. Down is decelerate. Yeah, so look, they're going to apparently fit my auto box now. So this got decent reviews. Mine came with an amazingly massive die-cast model of a Ferrari F40. Bottom left-hand corner, turbo gauge, completely pointless. Top left-hand corner, time, turbo available, even though the turbo gauge is to the right, telling you whether or not you've overheated. Above that, I've just engaged the turbo, is my time. Now obviously, it suffers from the control pad, because I'm not playing this on my ZX Spectrum, the Spectrum, retro games of the Spectrum, because I can't get the music to work unless I do it in multi-load. And here's one thing I will say, I love my The Spectrum, but the multi-load functionality on it is just broken in shit. You want to know how you do multi-load functionality? You do it. This isn't a multi-load game, it's just the way the ROMs are working. You do it on FBZX Wii. I'm telling you, it's a joy to use. Anyway, so yeah, it has a higher frame rate than the first Outrun, but so does a Tortoise. However, the elephant in the room. Your car is too big. It's like this on pretty much all versions. Your car is so massive that it's difficult to see what's directly in front of you, although you can, and it's a nice touch, get a little peek of them through your windscreen. We have music because it's 128K. It's nowhere near as good as the original Outrun music. I would say that I prefer, you can see my gauge, my turbo's still going. Oh no, that was just smoke. Yeah, I can honestly say, shit frame rate or not, they're pushing me into the side there, the cheeky fuckers. Checkpoint. Shit frame rate or not, I prefer the original game. It looks better, and the car is just too big in this. It's not a terrible game. Also, the difference in the graphics or colours between Stage 1, that's my opposition car, I believe, between Stage 1 and Stage 2 is a slightly duller green. Shouldn't this stage be snowy, or is that the next stage? I've played this game on so many variants, systems I should say, that they all blur into one. Look, I've got nowhere to get by them. Yeah, you're too big. You're too big, and you can't see what's directly in front of you. So it makes overtaking an absolute pain in the ass. See, I can't, wait. I don't even know what car he's supposed to be. I thought it was a, no, 959? I mean, that was the main opposition car to the F40, the greatest, still best looking Ferrari ever made. Well, I made a bit of a balls up of that, didn't I? Let's continue. Right, so Washington. Yeah, so those gauges, bottom left-hand corner, they're in the arcade version, so that's probably why they put them in this version, but they make no real difference to your game. I'd say they're eye candy, but not so much on the Spectrum version. Atari ST version I've played. While you could argue and Amiga, they're better than the Mega Drive version, the god-awful Mega Drive version by Tiertex. They're still by no means great. Look, I just can't get over. I can't overtake because I'm pushing a boat through Washington. There we go. Well, so thanks for that, computer. All things considered, yeah, original Outrun is better than this. It's not that it runs slow, it's hampered by its own design. I say it's not that it runs slow, but it's running a bit slow there, isn't it? Also, the undulation's not amazing. It's weird. I always thought, it's probably because I'm playing them so close together, I always thought that, see, it's impossible to get back on the road as well, that the original Outrun, this just plays far better than it. It doesn't. It absolutely does not. And again, maybe it's because I'm emulating it. I'd be emulating it if I played it on my the Spectrum, but it's either multi-load it or don't have sound. And I can't be dealing with that shit. Right. So is there no checkpoints? I thought there were well, there are, but I've not gone through them, have I? Right. Go right, and go left. And he can just drive through me because of course he can. He hasn't got a bird though. Oh, does he beat me? And then she goes in his car, and then if I beat him, she comes back to my car because she's what we like to call the industry as a whore. God, I remember this being far easier on the other versions. Not the Amstrad version, that runs so slow it goes backwards. But the Commodore's quite a nice version actually. That music's terrible. And I can't tell if I engage my turbo. Is it because it's flashing at the back, or these roads are fucking awful? What are they doing with our car tax? I'm not hearing noise. I mean, I'm out now, to be fair. Fuck it. Yeah. Disappointed all round. And also, before anyone asks, am I going to revisit Chase HQ? I've played Chase HQ in video on this channel probably about 5 times. Do I really need to revisit it? Let me know. The last time was a couple of years ago. Hey! And I compared it to the Amstrad version, and I'm sorry, it's better than the Amstrad version. By a hair's whisker, but it's better. Right, so we're in Snowtown. I've still got my bird. Maybe that's only in the arcades. Maybe I imagined that. Maybe that's a Mandela thing going on. Snow? Turbo? Crazy! That, however, what it looks like it's going backwards, and once you see it going backwards, you will never unsee it going backwards, is nowhere near as bad as it is in the original Outrun on the Spectrum. I'll give it that. Granted, they probably knew not to make it run as long. Also, is it snow? Or is it stone? Don't know. Now, yoink, once you start sliding, there's no coming back from that, is there? Oh, I've got turbo. Yes. Pittsburgh. I always think of What do I think of when I think of Pittsburgh? I'm confusing my American states. I don't think of it as a snowy state. I'm assuming it is supposed to be snow, otherwise it could just be they made the level white. No, it's snow. Hey look, bloke, was that a police car parked at the side of the road? Why am I so excited about that fact? Crazy. I feel there's no need to use your turbo because there's never any fucking room to nip between the traffic. Did you see the Jeep went side on then? Yeah, seriously, I can confirm it. Play the original Outrun on the Spectrum. Hit better. But then that's kind of the purpose of these videos. Let's revisit some of the sprite scalers. Granted, it was supposed to be on the Spectrum, so this video is kind of not anomaly. I think it is a roadblock. I mean, I think that happens in the arcade. Yeah, it's just... No, is it? I mean, they're in Jeeps. Also, what state am I thinking of when I think of Pittsburgh? Never mind. I've never been, so... Yoink. I mean, if you loved this in the arcades and this was the only way you got to play it, well, suck to be you. Which was technically me for a bit back then. But then I got my Mega Drive, but then I wouldn't want to play it on the Mega Drive, would I? I've got a gameplay of it if you want to see it. You don't. We can't be far off now. Oh, you're going to bump me all the way back, aren't you? Yeah. Right. I mean, if you look at the sprite, it's a nice looking sprite. It resembles the arcade, I'll give it that much. But I can't get by this guy and he's not even got a turbos. Again, like I said, you just can't see directly in front of you. I'm going to see did they play test it, but oh look at the original Outrun. No. Also, cash in on a name. See, it's going backwards. You can't see it now. Yoink, come on. And the music's not terrible. I mean, I wouldn't want to have to play this as a multi-loader, but then you could argue quite a lot of these games were multi-loaders, weren't they? So if you were in 48k town, you were probably used to it. It's up to you. But I can say that because I started off in 48k town, progressed to 128k town, so I was in Sucksville for a bit. Woohoo! I do like the AY sound. Some people don't. Oh look, we're racing on the sun. See, it seems to me so the enemy placement is like, fuck off, you're having a bad day. Or, here you go, we're going to Moses the vehicles for you. Like just the colour choice. Look, is that an eclipse? Are we dead? Is this hell? Oh, brake. Braking appears to do... Oh no, it did actually. Well, I mean, my turbo's still going, so does brake even work? In the game, because obviously that's not how turbos work. Well, overheats. It's probably because we're racing on the sun. So yeah, my advice is, I'd love to know what you think though, especially if you played the Spectrum version, is stick to the original. It's slow, on the 128k obviously, so it's loaded all at once. It's slow, but at least you feel like you're not pushing a boat down a stream. And by boat, I mean huge tanker. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, persevering, and I'll see you later.